Hello there, I'm Daz. During this video I'm going to be making a walkthrough of Ustengrav. Now there we are on the world map. Ustengrav is not too far away from Morthal. I'm here in order to complete the main quest mission, the Horn of Jurgen Windcaller. I'm going to be using my conjuration character, so you're going to be seeing lots of bound weapons and perhaps the occasional summons or two. We've got some Necromancers in this area and it's best to take them out as quickly as possible before they start raising undead. Got them. Right, I'm not interested in generic loot. There is a chest here. So this is a level 6 minimum location. And actually, if you arrive here before starting the quest, the Horn of Jurgen Windcaller, you'll not be able to proceed beyond this point. This passageway will be blocked off. I'm just going to switch to the bound sword, and perhaps I'll use Minerva's Shade if things start getting a little bit dodgy. So we're going to find a bunch of Necromancers in combat with Draugr. I might actually do a little bit of soul trapping. Okay, so that's that lot dealt with. Just going to make sure there's nothing fantastic on any of these, and I'm glad I went back for that. Very nice. So we actually have a couple of rooms off to our left. I'll just go to the map. And these are worth checking out. We actually have some spellcaster traps as well, but I've never known them to be active in all the years I've been playing Skyrim. So there are lots of urns in here if you want to waste your time searching through those. But the main reason I'm in this room is for this chest. I'm going to try my best throughout this video to locate all of the chests available. And now in this room we have another prize, which is the Restoration Skill Book, Mystery of Talara Volume 2, which I will read and take. That's the location for that. Okay, so let's move on. We don't want this video to take all day. Okay, so very soon we're going to come to what can be described, I suppose, as a secret area, although it's not that secret really. We just need to pull this chain. In case you're wondering why I sound a little bit groggy, I've just spent 4 days in hospital. I only came out yesterday and I've been quite heavily sedated. I'm actually feeling fine myself, but I know from past experience that when I listen to myself back, when I've been filming videos, I sound like I'm a little bit drunk. I assure you I'm not drunk. As I say, I've just been sedated in the hospital, but hopefully it's not going to be too pronounced. Damn, I think I missed him. Right, so I'm not going to worry about any more soul trapping. It's just causing a distraction, really. We have another chest right here. You'll notice my customary lack of combat finesse, but that's just to help speed things along. When I'm playing on my own time for fun, I do try and vary things up a little bit more. Okay, so we can actually evade this guy quite easily if we wish, but I'm going to make sure I clear out everything during this playthrough. So if you are in a very tight squeeze for time and you want to complete this quest as quickly as possible, you can actually drop down onto that bridge. You can do so very carefully, or if you already have, obviously, one of the words of become ethereal, you can just jump straight down there and you can miss out a large portion of this dungeon. I'm not going to do that, obviously, as this is a walkthrough. We have a fire floor plate right here, which I cannot avoid, unfortunately. Let's bring Minerva into the action. Damn. I need to get the perk, obviously, so I can throw my summons a bit further away. So that's another chest. I really do hope I've got all of the chests so far. I don't want to miss any. Right, there is nothing else in this room as far as I'm aware. So I'm just going to move on. Take out this restless fella here. Let's soul trap him, mate. And I think we're making decent progress for a guy who's been in hospital for 4 days. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is bound bow, and we have some oil lanterns, so I'm going to wake up a Draugr and then Let him burn. Looks like Minerva can deal with that fella. Okay, so right here we have a double locked gate. If I pull this first handle, you'll see only half of the solution is revealed. We need to pull this second handle to get all of the gates open. Was it even worth the effort? Probably not, but mind you, at least I got a valuable looking potion. Now there is also a Draugr corpse here. And this is the one that Minerva finished off. Okay, so back to the local map. I should have done this more often, really. So I'm going to walk up these steps, even though there is nothing really too important up here. But just in case anyone is looking for a troll skull in order to fill a plinth in a trophy room at one of the Hearthfire properties, there you can find one. And there is a potion as well. So, not all bad. Minerva has expired by the sounds of things. Right, so from this point we can actually access a secret area, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to clear out the Draugr with a little bit of target practice. Hopefully I'll not embarrass myself. Are there any more? There are more. I'm a little bit of a archery god today, I think. Things are working out quite well. Switch to the sword. We can freely take this potion without any peril. That is not a pressure plate. So I'm now going to head up here and be careful not to get burned like that Draugr did, because we have a chest here. And not too far away, another troll skull. And a couple of low-level gems. And a petty soul gem. And now we can see revealed an area that appears to be inaccessible. But in fact, it is quite easy to get in there. And I'm just going to show you how. We need to travel back up this collapsed walkway. And we can do most of this actually without the Whirlwind Sprint. As long as we don't make a hash of things. And everyone should possess Whirlwind Sprint as a free gift from the Greybeards not too long ago, so here goes. That's jump number 1. I just need to wait to charge up. It shouldn't be too long. I prayed to the Shrine of Talos before taking on this mission. That's it, don't fall off, Daz. And here we are. Yes, just as I suspected. An absolute waste of time, but at least curiosity has been satisfied. I'll just have a bit of a look around just to make sure I'm not missing anything obvious. I don't want somebody leaving a comment making fun of me saying there was an enchanted battle axe in there that you missed. Okay. Drop down. Ouch, that hurt. So now we need to head down here towards a word wall. So at last we are gonna collect something of real note. Before I attend to the word wall, I'm just gonna do a little bit of exploring because there is another chest. If we head up this ramp, it's very dark in here, I'm afraid. And then again up this second ramp. And for some reason we've got some nice music playing there in the background, as if we were not supposed to discover this. Alright, so we drop down, we find a dead Draugr. I'll take all the soul gems I can get, because as well as being or seeking to be a conjuration god, I also want my character to be an enchanting god as well by the end of the game. Not too far away we have a silver ore vein. I think it's just a single vein. So now we are going to collect a very important word of power. Become Ethereal, one of my favourite shouts. On many of my characters that would be the shout that I would have active most frequently. Especially my two-handed warriors. I bet this guy's not carrying anything valuable. 17 gold. He must have been quite a wealthy man before he succumbed to becoming a Draugr. Okay, so we can now get out of here and crack on with the main mission. I'll be making a quick save very shortly because there is going to be a moment of some peril. So there's one more Draugr to deal with. He can probably be safely ignored, to be honest, but I'm going to deal with him anyway. I'm probably doing him a service, to be honest. If I passed away, I wouldn't like to think that I was roaming around for centuries with no clothes on, like these poor fellows. So there we are. I'm doing God's work, clearly. Right, so at this point I am making my quick save, because what we need to do is walk towards that gate right under my crosshairs, and then we need to hit Whirlwind Sprint, and then almost instantaneously hit Whirlwind Sprint a second time. You can't normally do that, but at this point in the game it will allow it. So here goes. Got it. It is possible to get trapped inside those gates. There are pull handles inside the gates, but on a previous playthrough I got trapped in there and the pull handles wouldn't work, and I was a very unhappy dragonborn because I hadn't made any saves. I had to start from the beginning of the zone. So from now on I always make a quick save when I'm attempting that little maneuver. So we've got another moment of peril here because we're going to be facing a giant frostbite spider, which is why Minerva is going to be helping me out. Damn spiders hiding. Well, I think I made a little bit of a pig's ear of that one, but we both survived. Let's just double check that there is not anything worth collecting. No, I'm not interested in frostbite venom. So we are almost done, folks. Hack through the webbing. Right, let's have some lights. In fact, there are no more need for weapons. So we're now going to see a rather beautiful scene, which I'm just going to stand here and enjoy. Let's throw a mage light over there. Very nice. And now we can fulfill one final objective, which is to read this mysterious note, which tells us that we need to head to the Sleeping Giant Inn at Riverwood and book the attic room. Very mysterious. And just to confirm, there we are, the new objective. Meet with whoever took the horn. So just before I leave here, actually, well, I better check these urns, hadn't I? Since I've come away from this place with not very much gold in my pockets. So yes, if you return to Ustengrav after you've completed the quest Horn of Jurgen Windcaller, you can acquire a free dragon soul by interacting with this little shrine here. You have to complete the quest though. I did test if it was possible to just leave the zone or leave the dungeon and head straight back in here to acquire the dragon soul, and I can promise you that that does not work. Ooh, very nice. I'm not touching any dwarven plate armor until I've completed that official mission, because they are very buggy items. So I'll continue on until I've got out of here, and then I'll end the video at that point. So we are now heading back to that room with all the urns. That we saw right at the beginning of the video. I don't think I searched him. Oh, that was a stroke of luck. Right then folks, hopefully this video has been of use to someone out there, and that's the end of the video. It's now time to head to Riverwood and complete the quest properly. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.